The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends. And what else can you say? Markets not moving very much. We've got the NASDAQ up fairly strongly, 17 points. I think a lot of that had to do with a lot of the biotechs bouncing on some fairly good stage 3 research coming through. The S&P cash a little bit more mild, up 1.5 points, but not that far underneath the highs. Of course, just a couple of days before the end of the quarter, so we got the quarter window dressing going on. Monthly cash coming in. So, you know, as I said earlier this week, I kind of expect that this bounce will last into mid next week at least. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm kind of looking at the higher range at about 23.75 on this. So probably, you know, another 15 points. Is there a lot more to go? Yeah, could be. For me, I'm more than happy playing around in the individual sectors with individual stocks right now. And I'm pretty much loaded up with those, not really watching too much about what's happening in the in the broad indexes right now. Too many cross currents. I found some charts that looked really good. We piled in those, maybe a little bit early, but they're doing okay there. So we'll keep an eye on them. Anyway, what else is going on? Well, we always like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Nope. I guess we're off this week. No one has the little dee, 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 dee. Guess I'll just have to add it back in myself. What else is going on today? Well, you know, we had numbers on crude. It came out fairly good. Well, let me see. Take a look at what we have right now. 49.45 is what I have, up about $1.08 on this side of the pond's oil. And that's up 2.2%, up 1.8% on the Brent, 2.5% on natural gas. But just looked like there was a huge washout in energy, as we talked about the last few days. Gold not doing much. Silver taking a snooze. Platinum within the margin of error. Copper, another big crickets going on. So that's kind of it. Got a little bit of a bounce back in the dollar, and it's kind of trying to attack the 100 par out here. I suspect long term this thing is going to be headed up to 120. But you know, could we have 2-3 more months of this thing playing around before it heads higher? I think we can. The Fed came out and said, you know what? Or at least one of the Fed guys, he's from Massachusetts, said that, you know what? Well, we need 3 more. And that's kind of put kind of a wet blanket on the S&P. But well, the NASDAQ seems to not care and shaking it off today. As always, we like to start off the day with a little bit of history.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1989, Michael Milken is indicted on 98 felony charges of violating federal security laws, and as the head of the junk bond desk at Drexel Burnham Lambert. Prosecutors disclosed that he earned $550 million in compensation in 1986, but almost nothing else. They fling at Milken sticks. He ended up spending 2 years in jail, but basically goes to show you can steal a lot more with a briefcase than you can with a gun. He's tried to repair his reputation over years And, I guess everybody likes a rogue, a charming rogue. But I don't know. He's one of the guys that probably never was that likable to begin with. So I don't know how far up is when you're already in the gutter. Everything else looks like up. But he certainly had everybody doing the Pied Piper behind him. But what a great time to go back and look and see how people that really believe that the world owes them, like Michael Milton, that they just, I guess that most people don't think that way. So they aren't looking for somebody that literally is a shark, but made a lot of money for other people. And in the end, his 10-year sentence ended up being a little less than 2 years. On this day in 1989, one of the biggest shysters in the market starts to come to justice. What else do we have going on out here? Well, we've got a new theme song. Yes, we do. And it's only going to last a couple of years.
It's the final countdown.
Day 730. The UK is held hostage. Yes, it is. It's a final countdown. 730 days from now. What's going to happen? Well, Britain, the UK, will leave the EU. They gave notice today. I'm moving out. I'm moving up. It wasn't quite a song from Billy Joel, but yeah, kind of liked it. Anyway, we saw some action on it, and at least for the next 729 days, starting tomorrow, I will be able to use the final countdown as we count down to the British and the UK no longer being held hostage by those miserable commie and socialists in Brussels. God love them. They will find freedom finally. And we'll find out what happens to the EU. But globalists, basically thinly veiled communists that have control over everything. They tell you one thing and do another. But they have treated the people of Britain and the UK horribly, horribly, horribly. But, of course, in any one of these kinds of things where the government rules stuff, a lot of people do very well, and a lot of people do very horribly. But that's not really the business of government to pick the winners and the losers. But that's exactly what happened and why the British said sayonara. Well, I don't know what they'd say in the English that they use over there on the other side of the pond. Maybe somebody in the den could say. But sayonara is good enough, isn't it? We could use some other ones. But we will move on. There's just not much going on in news of the markets these days. It is a mad, 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 mad market, so we'll get to charts a little bit sooner out here. We're already going to the break. Give me a call today, 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com. And that would be it.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And of course, the biggest winner out here was Vertex Pharmaceuticals. It had the big gap up to 111.88 today on 10.3 million shares, blowing through the 1 million share high of 103.73 on August 3rd. And of course, the 4 million share high on November 10th. A good phase 3 trial result on a fibrosis drug. And a lot of people suffering from that, so probably going to be a good market for that drug. And if you pass phase 3, you're probably going to the palace to live on one of these big drugs like this. I didn't see the exact amount, but of course that put a fire under the IBB, which had kind of up to the last few weeks been fairly weak on this move up. Again, today, a little higher, but not a lot of juice out here. You did test the previous high of September 23rd, 301.71. That's September 23rd, 2016. Got into it on March 2nd with 1.8 million shares, so about half. So I'm not going to jump up and down and say that the biotechs are a screaming buy or anything. But you had energy down from that 301.71 high, September 23rd, down to 246.71. But the energy on the way up is kind of, where it's been kind of mediocre. So you ended up with about 85% of the energy on the way up that you had on the way down. You tested the high on half the volume. You're moving back up, and you don't have much volume today. But can this thing hang out for the next 2 or 3 days? It certainly can. A lot of people that were short this sector, not only the IBB or individual stocks, and they're on the wrong side going into fund buying. My guess is this thing might get back up into that 301, 303 area one more time. But it is one of the weaker ones out there. But again, news can change at least for a few days. the perception. My thought is that they'll go ahead and run any of the shorts out of this sector before it does roll over. So let's take a look at some of the other stuff going on. There was a couple other ones, saying, kind of small stocks. Let's take a look at Restoration Hardware real quick. Of course, this one just got absolutely hammered. Tom seems to know a lot more about this company and their big stores. He's talked a great deal about it. If I've been in one, it's been a long time ago. I think it was like a small mall store, maybe 5-7 years ago. Anyway, apparently much bigger stores these days, but I haven't been in one. This thing, of course, pretty much hammered down at the lows. You didn't get much of a buy signal. June 14th, $24.74 with 5.4 million shares. Got into it with a little lighter volume. February 7th, 24.41 with 4.6 million shares. So were you lighter? Yeah. 20% lighter? Yes. I would have liked to seen 20. I would have liked to seen 50% lighter down here at these. As bad as the thing was getting beat up. Energy from the December 8th low or high into the February 7th low. Really didn't have that much on. Probably looking for a little bit of a bounce, but decent earnings. Caught a lot of people on the wrong side. Once again, out here catching more people on the wrong side of this. And again, when you have these big double gaps out here, they seem to be getting tagged. This one was basically in it yesterday before earnings. Bet out here. The energy off this low had been good already, that February 7th low. But to me, the area to look at resistance is going to be about $47. You've got a double gap there. You've got a very big gap there. And that gap came down on about 17 million shares. Again, we got 5.5 million today. So, do you get up to 47, 46? If this market's going to roll over, I think that there's some very low-hanging fruit out here. I'm not thinking that the market does. But I would much rather be short here in a week than be short from the last week. I just didn't see that many weak stocks. I do see some lighter volume. In fact, we're just turning about 2 billion shares on the New York Stock Exchange right now. So to me, this little bounce out here, if it continues on lighter volume, might be a signal for the broader indexes. But I think some sectors are going to outperform others long term. And you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com or post a message in the den. And remember, as always, that what you need to do is tell 2 friends about the Power Trading Hour, because...
And he tells 2 friends, and she tells 2 friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.
I need more listeners. And since this is free, it's one of the few things I will ask you for, other than calling me also. What else do we have out here today? I think that's about it. We'll take a look at some other stuff. That just, with a fairly light and small move in the S&P, we're up 3 points right now. You're not going to get a lot of signals after the last 2 days. At least I don't think we're going to end up with a lot of big signals. I'm going to go back and start looking again at some of these stocks up at 52-week highs. We did that kind of the other day to see whether or not these things have broken. I'm starting to see kind of a lot of these stocks that have 2 gap plays, and thinking maybe that we're going to get one more gap in some of these. Applied Optoelectronics would be one of these. Down on very light volume today, but hanging around at 52-week highs. But when you look at this thing, you've got 2 qualifying big moves in this. One more move would not surprise me. I wouldn't be long now. But if you had a very light volume, big pop up on these, some of these that would be kind of the end of it. As we get back up here, that one's not doing too much. Next Med, ATNM, AUPH, Rena. We talked about that one. I'm going to see if any of these things out here. These are all the top stocks, not 52-week highs, by the way. These are the ones that have performed the best in the last 3 months. Bluebird Bio, again, up IBB on light volume. This one has been one that popped fairly good. As we've said before, once you get into the $90 range, then hitting $100 seems to be almost in the cards 80% of the time. This one did it. It's kind of doing a light volume move back up this last smaller move. Is there anything else out here? We'll go into break. Let's see if there's. We'll go back to the 52-week high and start combing through those. Again, come back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. We're going to look at a few of these 52-week highs. I'm just kind of, the market's not doing much. It's kind of the real first day of summer down here in Florida. We've had our winter, which is when we put out the brown plants and replace them with the green plants. But now it's I was out eating lunch, and I always know when summer's come because there's kind of a very peculiar, different smell from the air conditioning blowing through the vents. And I have a feeling it's the water condensing in them or something. There's a kind of, you get out there in the car's hot after you get back out from lunch or something, and it's been outside, not been in the garage. The sun's been beating on it, so it's kind of toasty and warm in the car. And you turn on that air conditioning, there's kind of a very certain smell that you start getting, and that just very cool, dense air from being down here in Florida. And also the sun hits you, and you can really feel it, in just a matter of minutes. This time of year, the UV's like at 10. It can't get any more UVE if you're out in the sun. It's just, you feel it burning just in like 30 seconds on your skin. Summertime has come here in Florida, or starting to come anyway. Now all I got to do is get the pool water up. It's at a chilly 82 degrees. The heater went off for some reason. Now I have to suffer. What else is going on? Give me a call, 877-927-6648. But we're enjoying the first day of summer here in Florida. We'll take a look at Apple. Come on, there we go. Another 52-week high today. I don't understand trying to pull the cord on this one. The press has always been on the side of Apple, at least in the United States. While Apple's been up over the last 12 months, maybe 20-30%. Samsung's been up 65%. And why they really don't trade here in the United States, they trade through an over-the-counter ADR. So it's not an easy way to trade Samsung. It's done a lot. Of course, Samsung's showing its brand new phones at the Barcelona. Basically, it's the convention where all the wireless folk get together. But started showing it last night. Reviews about it are hitting today. Of course, the replacement for the phones that kind of blew up. But one of the funny things that people will not tell you is that at the end, there were about 35 Samsung phones that blew up. Probably more if they didn't really pull them off the market. But how many Apple iPhones blew up over the same amount of time? Bueller. And you didn't hear anything about it, did you? Actually, more phones have blown up on Apple phones. It's just that, probably if they would have kept selling them by now, maybe 300-400 phones would have blown up. But Apple's way on the road, from what I read, to about 100 phones. Anything with a lithium-ion battery in it is problematic. But it's very nice when you have the press at your back. And Apple is one of these companies that, quote, is socially responsible. They get pretty much a free ride in the tame Apple press. But that being said, they got $265 billion. And it's just hard for me to see going short this thing right now, going into a cycle. They purchased, or actually ordered, 50 million chips for the first run of their phone. So they're expecting to probably, within the first 30 days of it shipping, sell somewhere around 50 million phones, which is nothing to sneeze at. Now, the question is whether or not they can continue to keep margins. Those have started to slip in the past months. Normally, when they release a new phone, the discussion is that this phone will even be $100 more expensive than phones in the past. But again, just placing orders now, and that probably means something like a late summer or early fall delivery schedule for the next iPhone. I think they're going to try to get it out in September or late August this year. But again, another 52-week high, not a big deal out here. See what we have out here. Unless something's changed, 2361, which is up 2.5 points in the S&P cash. So not much happening there. American Tower Corporation, these guys put the towers up for cell phones, and I don't think that's changing anytime soon. Breaking out, they had 3 3 million shares a couple of days ago as it went through this 117 and 118 previous highs. Those had just a little more than 2 million and just at 2 million shares. So you beat that by about 50%. Not a real sexy business. Energy is not all that exciting. I'm not going to say you had a sign of strength, but you do have a breakout, and volume was 50% higher. Amazon, another 52-week high. One is breaking out, but again, no volume or sign of strength breaking the previous high, and that's the October 6th high, 847.21. Now you got it's called 4.2 million shares right now. So we'll see how the end of the day comes in, but it doesn't look to me like you've got a ton of juice behind here. Now, I've talked from time to time about Amazon and some of the other ones having antitrust issues and restraint of trade. It's kind of very interesting to see several YouTubers that I follow their channel. Some of them are fairly successful with 1 million subscribers. And they're talking about the problem with censorship in it. But I heard the monopoly word many times raised with Google, which is not in this list, but let's take a quick look. And to me, let's see what, I guess I have to spell Google correctly, don't I? G-O-O-G-L instead, he said. And the, you've got this is not, a lot of these FANG stocks look kind of like this, like Amazon. They're not rousing endorsements at these highs. And Alphabet, Google is one of these that had a test on much lighter volume, about half. So you've got a lot of the big tech stocks out here that are sucking wind at these highs. But my thought is that these things may be able to even keep on going until earnings, and that's where these things tend to fall apart. They don't tend to fall apart when nothing is happening. This one on Alphabet had the January 27th high with 3.75 million shares. What is that? 867. Broke through it with a bunch of bucks on March 17th, but volume was about half. It's come down and now kind of starting to do its ABC. But especially the people in Hollywood, people in the content sector, spending a lot of time on something I've been writing about in the Tech Insider for a while, and that is going down this slippery slope of censorship and letting the worst offenders get away because of political correctness and really beating on the people that actually draw customers to you. We'll be back after.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to unearth a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Core Commodity CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 4 equally weighted commodities: gold, copper, WTI oil, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With no pricing caps, you can potentially earn an unlimited upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across semi-annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There's no annual percentage percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. With certain commodities on the rebound, now is the time to take advantage. The March 23rd funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once more, that's 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we are back. What do we got going on here? Activision Blizzard, we're going through 52-week highs. Again, another 52-week high for the game company. Again, not a lot of volume up here on these, but again, I'm thinking that this is probably a light volume push higher in some of these stocks. I think sector rotation really starts to come in this next quarter. So we may see a lot of these high flyers start to pull back. So you might be able to be long and short, maybe long more of the industrial kind of stuff and short maybe these bigger, higher flyers. They look up here on fairly light volume for Activision Blizzard. Yesterday, you had almost 11.9 million shares. 11.9 million shares. Today, 4.2 again. Eventually, this thing should come back to about $43, which looks like that would be the place to buy it. To Boyd Gaming, of course, another stock up here banging around what has been resistance. Now, this one's given kind of a little of a sell signal. December 9th, $21.58, 2.8 million shares. Tried to tag that on February 15th with 3.19 million shares. So you know you're going to get a retest of that 2150 area. So we get that today, let's call it 1.2 million shares today and back into the trading range. Energy off this March 3rd low, and interesting. So let's go back and look at Win real quick and see how it's doing today. We talked about this one just as a proxy of what's going on in China. This has a little bit more to go. I'm looking at about 120 on this one to fill about half the major gap back on April 28th, 2015, where you probably should see some pretty extensive resistance levels on this one. Kara, see how this one did today. Another 52-week high out here to $20.80. You had a lot of pressure yesterday and huge shorting, only to see the reversal come out here today and go higher. And that's kind of what I see. A lot of people were piling on into the last couple of days, and it just hasn't worked out for them. The chemical company, what is that? Computer Sciences making a new high today, 52-week high. But it's going to have the volume. Question on whether or not it's going to hold to $71.79 today. The Chemours up again today. Fairly light volume. You'd want this thing to come down to about $29.50 for a potential buy. It's on a nice sign of strength, but just other than yesterday, didn't really have a lot of juice. CSC, which is Computer Sciences, A nice pop in this one. You're going against 8.3 million shares with 6.25. We did that one. DRI, Darden Restaurants. Want to see if there's any follow through from them buying the Cheddars yesterday. And so far, you had a lot of people on the wrong side of this one that had made a short call on it, getting squeezed out. Normally, you wait about 3 days and see whether or not these kind of stocks can actually hold those highs. What else do we have out here? HUN, the Huntsman, also hitting another 52-week high. Compared to yesterday, not a lot of volume, 1.8 million shares so far compared to 6.5 million shares yesterday. KBH Homes, even people yelling about higher interest rates this morning, like the Fed president from Boston, hasn't really put the kibosh on KB Homes. Again, another 52-week high to $20 that just tagged it. But just 1.33 million shares today. When we go back just to the 16th, when it got into this area, you had 5.2 million shares. So again, kind of a light volume day out here. I suspect that even though it is, we're going to hold up for a few more days. LITE, what is this one? Go ahead and get the Lumen Holdings, LITE. I assume they make lights. I bet they make LED lights. A nice little pop here with some volume, but not able to hold that February 21st high at $43.70. You've got 2.3 million shares, but it looks like it's going to close back below that previous high. Never a good sign. Max Linear, a nice pop to its 52-week high. We'll see if this one actually did have some better volume than we've seen for a little while. You got 1.1 million shares so far today. And would it buy it? No, but one of the better looking ones today. NKTR, which is Nectar Therapeutics. A lot of these biotechs were popping today. This one, another one making its 52-week high today. Not a lot of juice in it. NRG, which is NRG Energy. This one's just moved straight up off the bottom for the most part. Nice pop today. Volume is better than the last 7 days so far. So we'll see how this closes out today. LLI, Ollie Bargain Outlet Holdings. Wow, just a huge kind of doji out here today, but a lot of volume above previous highs. If it could hold it, that probably wait a few days to go out and look at. Tiffany's on the cusp. See, on the cusp of filling this gap. That happened a long time ago on a galaxy far away. On the 12th of January 2015, this got hammered with 10 million shares to the downside. We've been working all that time to get back up here. As we said, this one has a double gap at about $97. But again, if it hits 90, I'm betting it hits 100. Not a lot of juice, but my guess is that this hits 100 before it does turn around, even with the light volume. And what is it? TNXP, Atomics Pharmaceuticals. I don't know what happened on this one, but kind of a penny stock that basically came from 33 cents to $9.40 today. Just 2 weeks ago, a 33-cent stock. I don't think I would have been able to buy this thing on the bounce. But man, somebody got rich here today. It looks like they sold out also. VIAV, which is, what's the name of this thing here? VIA Solutions. Taking a look at this one. Actually higher volume than the previous high of $10.89 for VIAV. But it's not holding that high. It already has, man, what are we talking about here? 6 million shares compared to the 5 million shares of January 15th. But again, not holding the highs out here. So I think we're going to have a little bit of back and fill in the markets. Mostly what I'm looking at shows that. Variant Systems, we've talked about this one for a while, filling about half its gap today. and looking pretty good at it. Volume has picked up. So I would give this one yet another few days to take a look at it. But if you are bearish out here, there are some stocks that look rather weak. I'm kind of bullish overall in certain sectors and think that sector rotation is really the story of the next few months. We'll be back after this.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge Heard Daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're kind of just meandering at 3 points higher on the S&P cash, 22 points higher on the NASDAQ. And, of course, a little pop out here in crude today, a little respite from its downside of the last bit of trading of the last few weeks. We'll look at a few more out here. But the 52-week highs, we looked at Variant, and then, I don't know if there's anything more to say about it. Let's go ahead and look at some of the stocks that I've been looking at in my scans. And then I'll have to go through these fairly quickly. Acadia Pharmaceuticals, not anything exciting. Acro by day, American Eagle. This one kind of was interesting to me. One of the reasons why I thought that we were going to have a pretty substantial bounce in the general market was because some of the biggest dogs out here looked and had very light volume in the previous lows. In the case of American Eagle Outfitters, on May 19th of 2016, he had a nice move up with about 20.5 million shares. That whole gap pretty much got filled on March 21st with 1/4 that volume. Now, again, pretty horrible business. I don't want to get in to the retail clothers of teenagers, but at some point they're going to need clothes. Their current ones are going to turn to rags, or they'll outgrow them, and someone's going to have to go to the store eventually. That may be Amazon, but Mike says they're going to want to try some of this stuff on. And you just got kind of light volume bounces so far, but this may not be the end of the world for these. I think it may be the end of the world for malls, but I think they're just the giant malls may be a thing of the past, and strip malls may be the thing of the future. But there are a lot of these, we've talked about a few of them on the air, a lot of these teen retailers or other mall stores that actually, if you look at the chart and forget the fundamentals of everything bad happening to them, look like at least there's a temporary bottom coming out of this market. Let's see what else we have out here. BBY, let's take a look at that one. This one's going back up to its previous high. This thing kind of sold off on earnings, finally got back down and filled this gap of the 17th of November, did so with 24.5 million shares, came back into it with 16.4 million shares, and it's kind of moved back up, but volume is less, especially the last 3 days, 4.6 million shares, 3.2 million shares. Today we got 2.4 million shares. So this thing could come in fairly lightly and test this December 8th high that had 7.33 million shares. But my guess is that you are going to see some of these retest these highs, especially going into the quarter, fund buying and window cleaning. What else do we have out here? Let's see about CCK. Nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. CLS. Celestica, we've talked about this one, especially recently, testing its highs. Now, this one, we said something about it yesterday and thought maybe that there was potential for a reversal back to $13 on it, where I would probably much rather be a buyer than trying to be short, one, a $14 stock, and two, one that does have a sign of strength that needs to get wiped out. Well, we're out of time. This show flew by. In the meantime, so when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. I want a bat burger.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.